looking good. Nice.
Today on Absolute Anthem, we're going to be talking E3 and EA Play 2018 predictions, while also taking a look at the known Javelins for Anthem thus far, including one that was just revealed yesterday as the Anthem Twitter account reactivated itself, posted a very short and basic tweet that said decoding, 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 and also went ahead and updated its social media banner art. This is the art piece in question, which now showcases the 3 Javelins that we've seen previously in the E3 2017 reveal, as well as one brand new Javelin. So why don't we start by taking a look at these once again and kind of breaking down what we know about them and speculating on that brand new Javelin. So at the top, we've got the Ranger. We saw this Javelin showcased both from the player perspective as well as from a additional teammate perspective in the E3 2017 trailer, as both Michelle and Kim were piloting some form of the Ranger Javelin. Below that is the brand new Javelin. We'll come back to that in a second. Below that is the Colossus, which is the tanking Javelin that was piloted by Paul again in the E3 2017 trailer. Below that is the unknown Javelin that was piloted by Sandra in the E3 2017 reveal trailer. Now that bottom Javelin, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of theory crafting going around as to what that Javelin's specific capabilities are. A lot of people are looking at it as a sort of magic or caster type Javelin, elemental damage potentially, the idea of sci-fi space magic, if you will. The potential for this Javelin to act as a healer or some sort of a caster, a support, crowd control type character for the rest of the squad. Let's roll things back though and take a look at that brand new Javelin. We have not seen this Javelin in action at all, and it comes across as a very lightweight, perhaps mobility and speed focused Javelin. We've got some very bright colors on it as well. I like the customization going on here. Even the helmet for this Javelin seems to be a little bit more focused on streamlined aerodynamics. We see a selection of wings coming off the back of the Javelin as well as on the Javelin's forearms. And when we actually take a look at the scale of this Javelin as an exosuit in comparison to the undersuit that the pilot has actually climbed into or is wearing in this case, this is again very much a lightweight Javelin. It does not appear to be very thick or very bulky, potentially allowing the actual user, the wearer, to have very good mobility. Maybe this is an acrobatics focused Javelin that can roll around, dodge, and sort of outmaneuver opponents even in close quarters. Maybe it's a speed focused Javelin that excels at high speed flight or high speed ground mobility. We don't really know, but I'm going to say this thing is clearly focused on being lightweight and going fast for one reason or another. I love the customization going on here, and I want to say that I'm very happy that BioWare has kept these sort of neon red eyelids, effectively what is the imaging computers for the helmets, because we already know that the inside of these Javelin helmets don't actually have like a typical glass visor or view screen. It is a projection of what the player or what the user would actually be seeing. That sort of neon red eye slit effect that they have going on specifically with the Ranger and with this new speed focused Javelin, to me have already become sort of a defining characteristic, a defining aesthetic of what I expect from the Anthem experience. It just feels very sci-fi, it feels original, it feels exciting to me. There's just something about it that makes these Javelins feel badass, if you will. They kind of activate my inner 5-year-old who's like, yes, that's a really cool Iron Man suit. And I'm like super okay with that. I think they did a great job with them. I'm definitely excited to learn more about all of the Javelins, not just the ones we've already seen in action at E3 this year. So let's go ahead, roll forward, and talk E3 2018 predictions. First and foremost, we're definitely going to be seeing this game showcased at the EA conference. I mean, this is a big deal for EA and BioWare. This is BioWare, like the big BioWare team making their return. I expect them to showcase a new gameplay demo. I'm hoping for a showcase of new systems, new gameplay content. I'd love to see them demo the open world a little bit more, perhaps show something to us this year that feels more organic and real, like really showcase how the core gameplay loop functions. Let us see the characters in a social space, buying equipment, gearing up for a fight, gearing up for a bit of exploration, and then show them actually heading out into the open world in real time. Let us see what that looks like. It would also be great for them to have the actual devs, members of the community management team, come on stage and actually play the game, showcase 4-player co-op for us. The demo last year was clearly a hype fest, right? It's there to showcase the game for the first time, to get people excited about it, as BioWare then goes dormant again, and then works on the project for another year before they come back to show it to us at E3 this year and at EA Play. So I want to see the dev team on stage. I want to see some people who've actually worked on this thing playing the game for us in real time. E3 isn't really known for that, But I do expect us to, at the very least, get a gameplay demo, even if it's pre-done and scripted. I think it would also be great for them to showcase some new combat encounters. While we did see combat last year, we didn't get to see a lot of it. It would be cool to see all 4 of these Javelins in action, showcasing some of their abilities. I don't expect them to show off everything. I don't expect them to tell us every little detail about the game, considering we still have, another like 7-8 months. We're expecting this game to drop sometime early 2019. That's if it doesn't get delayed again. So I don't expect them to showcase and spoil the entire thing, considering how much work probably has to be done, and just because it's not the way I want to absorb my video games. I don't need the whole thing spoiled 8 months before release, but I would like to see some new stuff, and I would like to see a bit of a progress update. I'd like to see BioWare come out and say, hey, it's been a long time since you've seen Anthem. This is Anthem now. This is where we've come with it. It still has a lot of those concepts you saw last year, but here's some of the new stuff. Here are some of the things we've done in the last year. That would be a cool way of them bringing this game on stage and showcasing it to us. Now, if you're going to be at EA Play, here's what I'm thinking. It's EA Play. It's an event where you get in there and you actually play the games. It makes a lot of sense to me for them to deliver something that is session-based. So I doubt you're going to show up there, jump into single-player, 4-player, 2-player, 3-player co-op, and just start exploring the open world. If they did that and they put it on some sort of a timer, I honestly would be kind of shocked. I don't think that's the best way to highlight an experience like this from both a combat perspective as well as just from an overall gameplay perspective. While a lot of people would probably like to explore for 20 or 30 minutes, again, it's important that they showcase some of the gameplay systems, the Javelin gameplay, and the combat. So I'm thinking we're probably going to see some sort of a small dungeon or event, basically the equivalent of Destiny's Strikes or Division's, more main missions, where 4 players are going to be able to show up at EA Play. You'll get grouped up into a squad together, and then you'll try and complete this dungeon, try and complete this event. It'll give you a great chance to see the actual combat capabilities of the Javelins, and also kind of get an idea as to how combat's going to work in one of these larger scale gameplay environments.
Hold on a sec.
Beyond that, who knows? It would be nice to actually get a date for the beta, which is supposed to be a thing. I'm thinking we're probably going to see it at the end of the holiday, end of this year. It would make sense for them to drop beta maybe 2 or 3 months before launch, at least in comparison to the ways that EA and their studios have run betas in the past for games like Battlefield. Of course, we'd all like to see it before then. And if they decided they wanted to do sort of an alpha test on top of the beta and run that later this summer or in the fall, I think that would be fantastic. I really would like to see BioWare admit that that sort of feedback in the early stage of the development can be valuable for a game like this. A game that is going to rely heavily on community interaction and, just the community as a whole to sustain it, to take part in it, to be a part of its world, to be a part of its experience post-launch, could definitely benefit from something like a very early test experience, even if it's just a very small slice of that gameplay to help actually test some of those core components. I will say this, it appears that these are going to be the 4 Javelins. I don't really see them developing more than 4 Javelins. I mean, from a gameplay design perspective, as a developer, as someone who has to manage resources, time, manpower, money, so on and so forth, it doesn't make sense to say, let's make 8 Javelins. Let's make 6 Javelins when it's a 4-player co-op game. Like, this is a game that is about 4 players in a party. Even if there's 8-player activities down the line, you're more focused on what is the experience like when we max out the base player count of 4 players. Well, we want to ensure that there's at least 4 Javelins, so each one of those players could have their own unique Javelin if they so choose to do so. That makes a lot of sense. There's a reason that Destiny has 3 classes, because it has 3 characters per party, per fire team. That's probably what we're going to get with Anthem here. If they deliver more than 4 Javelins, I'll be shocked. I think 4 is a good number considering the level of customization, both physically and cosmetically, they seem to be aiming for. Not to mention we have all of the actual weapons we'll be picking up. There's already going to be a huge amount of variety across 4 different Javelins, especially if they're as unique as they actually look within their visual design. And we already know the differences between the Ranger and the Colossus. And just looking at the visual design of the sort of caster and this high-speed mobility Javelin, I think we're going to have a lot of variety here. And that is, of course, going to extend into individual player personalization, gameplay customization for each of these Javelins. This is cool stuff. I'm really excited just basically on the aesthetics of this game. I think it looks absolutely breathtaking as far as sci-fi goes, and I'm really looking forward to seeing a more established version of Anthem at E3 this year. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Leave your predictions down there. Tell me what you're excited about. Tell me what you're concerned about. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
You have been brought here for a purpose, the most important task of your lives.